The thing about budget cuts is since they cut, you cannot avoid the impact. Community groups in Denver's Montbello neighborhood say budget cuts proposed by Mayor Mike Johnston unfairly target low-income areas. Mark Salinger shows us exactly how.
A little bit of worry, nervousness for our communities.
At this table in Montbello, the leaders who've worked to build up a community feel robbed.
I am certain
Kadisha Haynes,
that it is going to be detrimental. It already is.
Joel Hodge,
We're all worried.
Diane Cooks,
Yes, very worried.
and Donna Garnett
This is a really big deal.
all run nonprofits and community groups in Montbello. Together, they sit on the board of the Montbello Organizing Committee. They say the budget cuts proposed by Denver Mayor Mike Johnston to pay for the migrant crisis threaten to destroy everything they've built.
To have our community brought to its knees because we're losing the kinds of resources that people need.
It's tremendous worry for me because I know what it's going to do to our families.
Loses safety for our children, our youth.
If you are looking to have a city that remains whole, you don't take from the bottom, you take from the top.
Last month, when the mayor announced the first budget cuts, Parks and Rec and the DMV were the first to lose money.
We will also have to make some hard decisions around.
Johnston already announced more than $4 million in cuts from Parks and Rec, including cutting 25% of summer programs and cutting hours at rec centers.
Have been working together on how we find these cuts and how we make sure that these cuts are equitable.
Equity
That's what we provide.
that no one at this table sees.
It is not equitable, or we wouldn't be hurting in the way that we are.
Now community groups like Donna's and Diane's and Joel's and Kadisha's are preparing to fill in the gaps from the money they likely will no longer have.
To take from Parks and Rec, which is a universal need for every community, but particularly for communities that are on the bottom rung of the economic ladder in his city, seems to me to lack any moral consciousness.
The mayor's office told us again today that no final decisions on the majority of budget cuts have been made yet, other than the $5 million or so that's already been announced. We're told more decisions will likely be made in April. Regardless, though, these community leaders see the writing on the wall, Marshall. They know what's coming. They're just trying to prepare.
I'm sure every neighborhood is going to be complaining about cuts, but this neighborhood has a lot more at stake.
They say that things like the rec center, that's where people go when they're not at school. You think of summer coming up right now. They're worried it could lead to higher teen violence, mental health issues, things like that. I mean, we're talking about organizations like the Struggle of Love Foundation that we talk to all the time. They're a fantastic organization here. They are worried that this is a very real scenario with these budget cuts.
I remember back to the mayor's race, and Kelly Brough was promoting, I'm going to open up rec centers to kids. I'm like, that happened under John Hickenlooper when he was mayor. What are you adding? And now that it's gone, it's like, wow, that could be added back. That's helpful.
And one of Mayor Johnston's goals for 2024, decrease violence. These folks who work with these teens every day, they think that these measures are going to increase violence.
Well, they definitely have a voice themselves and through you. Thanks, Mark.